What's going on, everybody? And I hope you're enjoying your Monday afternoon so far. This is NYG Jeffy T85 here, and I'm going to bring you some news surrounding the New York Football Giants as we are just 3 days away from the beginning of the NFL draft, but the New York Giants decided to add a little bit more beef and a little bit more depth to that defensive line. So what I love this to be is that the Giants now are going to be beefing up the middle of that defense to help with their very, very, very suspicious run defense overall. They have already added Rakeem Nunez-Roches to a deal earlier on this free agency, 3 years up to $12 million. And now the New York Giants are adding former Alabama defensive tackle and in the NFL, former Detroit Lions and Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle, ShawnRobinson, where the 6'4", 330-pound defensive tackle who was originally selected by the Detroit Lions back in 2016 at pick number 46 in the second round, is now going to be spending his next season with the New York Giants as he signed a one-year deal with Big Blue that is going to be up to $8 million going forward. And so far in his career, in terms of his play, the 6'4", 330-pound, 28-year-old, who turned 28 on Tuesday, he has played in 93 regular season games for Detroit and Los Angeles, with starting about 61 games, where he unfortunately suffered a torn meniscus back in 2022 last year, which only limited him about to 10 games playing last year. But in his career, he's accumulated 293 tackles from the defensive tackle position, with 7 sacks overall. He has also 5 forced fumbles with 3 fumble recoveries. He has 17 passes deflected on that defensive interior with 1 interception, and he does have a defensive touchdown for the Detroit Lions all the way back in 2017. And what he's going to do is he's going to add more depth to that defensive line. Now you have a rotation of defensive linemen with Leonard Williams, who I think will be back with the team, but you never know. They could trade him if they can't work out a new extension with him. You have Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence, who is going to get paid an extension sometime during this offseason. And now you've added Rakeem Nunez-Roches and ShawnRobinson to the middle of your defensive line going into the 2023 season and beef up what has been a very suspicious run defense ever since the team let go of Dalvin Tomlinson a couple of seasons ago when he signed with the Minnesota Vikings. So now the Giants are steadying themselves to try and take care of one of the biggest weaknesses on this football team, and that was the run defense. You add a guy like ShawnRobinson to what you already have on that defensive line, and plus it gives an opportunity for former 5th round pick out of Arizona State, DJ Davidson, who's coming off an ACL injury that he suffered against the Green Bay Packers all the way back in week 5 of last season. It gives him an opportunity now to go out there and really rehabilitate his injury and doesn't have to rush back on the football field because of the amount of depth you have on that defensive line. But at the same time, this does not take the Giants out of the realm of possibility of still adding some more defensive line help on that defensive line when it comes to the NFL draft or even undrafted free agency. And maybe they could even look to sign another veteran when we get to free agency during June and July, when you start seeing some guys get cut due to post-June 1st cut designation, or some other players that might still be on the market that are waiting for the NFL draft to play out before they start looking to make their signings on the dotted line with a certain football team that they're looking to be interested in signing with. So I like this move. I've always liked the ShawnRobinson game. I think he's a solid run defender. He's not going to give you a whole lot in terms of his pass rush up the middle, but you don't need him to do that when you got Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, who in most part, they are your interior pass rushers for the defensive line. So all you need from him, as well as Rakeem Nunez-Roches, is just to go up into the interior and just pretty much plug up the middle and not allow those opposing running backs to just gun up the middle and pretty much gain at least 4, 5, 6 yards per carry against the middle of that Giants defense. And then you couple that with, of course, the returning Darian Beavers, who missed all of his rookie year due to an ACL tear he suffered in the first preseason game for the New York Giants against the New England Patriots last year during the beginning or middle of August. And then, of course, you have the fact that they just signed Bobby Okereke, who's also going to be in the middle of that linebacking core. And then we don't even know who else the Giants might add in the NFL draft and, of course, undrafted free agency that is going to be happening by the end of this weekend. So I like the move for ShawnRobinson. More depth to the defensive line is going to help out this defense overall. You get yourself a better steady rotation now. And what it's going to do is it's not going to make Dexter Lawrence, and if he's here, Leonard Williams, be pretty much gassed throughout the entire season, having to take too many snaps without any true depth behind them. But now that you have Nunez-Roches and now that you add Robinson, you have a steady, good rotation of at least 4. And if Davidson comes back healthy, 5 defensive tackles that you can rotate on that line. And it's going to help keep all these guys fresh. And it's going to make your team even more dominant and deadly when you go into the latter parts of this NFL season. And you need to play these guys a little bit more on the defensive line going into the later part of 2023. So I like the deal. Giants officially signed defensive tackle formerly of the Los Angeles Rams and Detroit Lions, former second-round pick at pick number 46 back in 2016 from the University of Alabama. ShawnRobinson has inked a 1-year deal with the New York Giants, and the deal can be up to or upwards about $8 million this upcoming season for Big Blue. And who knows, if he plays well enough, maybe he can end up getting another deal from Big Blue to be part of that depth going forward. He's only 28 years old, so it's not like he's way past his prime. You could keep him here for possibly another season or two just to see how he's going to be able to perform for the team going forward. So make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't already, and give a sub to NYGJeffyT85. More news updates and chatter surrounding the New York Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications on when the next video or short will be dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And you guys let me know in the comment section what you think about the Giants adding defensive tackle ShawnRobinson, formerly of the Rams and the Lions, to a 1-year, $8 million deal that is going to beef up the depth on that interior defensive line for Big Blue during the 2023 NFL season. And if you like the move, if you dislike the move, and if you believe this is either going to take the Giants out of potentially getting a defensive tackle in the NFL draft, or if you still believe the Giants could get some even more defensive line help going into the 2023 season and select another defensive tackle to add to that rotation for the 2023 NFL season. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Monday. Take it easy. Let's go, New York Football Giants. As always, together blue, everyone.